What's happening, everybody? Off the Mike Sports Network. Reacting more to the World Series. If you guys want to go see my full recap of the series, Game 7, everything related to that. It's the greatest World Series I've ever seen. Maybe one of the greatest games I've ever seen. If you're a fan of the Toronto Blue Jays, I just don't know how you're going to function the rest of this weekend. So many things that we saw in this series that are just otherworldly. But Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Let's talk about this for a second. He is the first pitcher since Randy Johnson. Ironically, when they ended a dynasty, the Diamondbacks did against the Yankees. Since Randy Johnson, he's the first pitcher since Randy Johnson to win 3 games in a World Series. And he won back-to-back games. Yamamoto is unbelievable, man. Like this is unbelievable. First of all, Dave Roberts, I don't know. Like, this guy had such bad luck for a lot of his Dodger tenure. He pushed all the right buttons. He used all 4 starters in this Game 7. He used Ohtani. He used Glasnow. He used Blake Snell, and then he went to Yamamoto. And Yamamoto got him through nearly 3 innings, 2 2/3 to win Game 7. Let me give you guys his line. So Yamamoto, he's walked a couple of batters. Only walked 2 batters in this series, which is unbelievable. But listen to this guy's postseason. So Yamamoto, he obviously struggled in the Philadelphia series. Only threw 4 innings. He was not good in that one, and that was Game 3. Lost that one. But Cincinnati, 6 2/3, 4 hits, 2 runs. Neither one of them earned. They beat Cincinnati in that one. Philadelphia only went 4 innings. Philadelphia's a really good team. Milwaukee, complete game, 3 hit, only gave up 1 run. Then Toronto, Game 2, complete game, 4 hits, 1 earned run. And then, Toronto, Game 6, throws 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run. It's just unbelievable. And then in this spot, comes in 2 2/3, somehow gets out of the 9th inning, only gives up the 1 hit, 1 walk, strikes out 1, gets the ground ball double play, throws 34 pitches, one night after throwing 95. Like, we thought that this might be a possibility for the Dodgers when they got to Game 7. Dave Roberts in the postgame after Game 6 said, it's not going to happen. And then, interestingly enough, Game 7, right before, was like, he might be available. It was like, really? Yamamoto came out and might have looked better than he did. I mean, his control was a little bit iffy. He still looked as good as he did last night. It was unbelievable what happened here. Like I said, to do something that we haven't seen on this stage in 25 years. Like Randy Johnson is the big unit, legend, Hall of Famer. Yamamoto has only been doing this at the big league level. Obviously, he did this at a great level in Japan. But to do this back-to-back nights on, like, Randy Johnson, at least, here's the difference. Randy Johnson, at least, was at home in Arizona for Games 6 and 7 when he had to win those 2 games to help the Diamondbacks come back and win a world championship. Yamamoto was on the road in Toronto for all 3 of these games that he won. All 3 of them. Against the Blue Jays lineup that, against every other pitcher that the Dodgers threw out there, could not get out. And Yamamoto was not surrendering anything. The only guy who got a hit off of him was Vlad Guerrero Jr., who was a great piece of hitting on 3-2, lines a double in the corner, and they somehow didn't get him home. How Yamamoto was able to pitch this well, it's one of the most heroic performances that maybe we have ever seen in baseball history. Obviously, Randy Johnson, older, veteran pitcher, did a lot of great things for, the Diamondbacks. But like I said, doing this on the road is what stands out to me. I'll give all the respect in the world to what Randy Johnson did 25 years ago. because that's unbelievable to win all those games, to win a world championship. But for Yamamoto to do this back-to-back nights on the road in Toronto when there was no margin for error, all this pressure on the Dodgers, the massive contract that he has to pitch at the level that he did in this World Series against that lineup where the rest of his counterparts, it's a great starting rotation, could not get these guys out. Yamamoto won 3 games in this series. The only other game that the Dodgers won that he didn't start, or that he didn't pitch in, was the one started by Tyler Glasnow, where everyone else threw in it in Game 3, that 18-inning game. Think about that. Think about how insane that is. Like, holy shit. We are going to talk about this maybe for the next 25 years when this happens again, maybe. But you don't see this very often in baseball. So, even if you're a Blue Jays fan, you have got to have some level of admiration for what Yamamoto did. That is otherworldly shit. Otherworldly shit. This guy threw, 17 2/3 innings? Yeah, because he had the 9, then he had the 6, and then he had the 2 2/3. 17 2/3 innings where he surrendered 2 runs. He surrendered 2 runs. 2 earned runs in 17 2/3 innings. That's just, I keep saying that to myself. It's unfathomable with a lineup as good as that to make them look that like mortal. So easy World Series MVP. Easy World Series MVP. It's not even close. The Dodgers do not win this championship without Yamamoto. And they were able to come up with timely hits to save their season. People like Miguel Rojas, like Shohei Ohtani had a decent series, but he wasn't by any, like I said, he was the reason they were in the hole to begin with. It was Yamamoto that rescued this team to make them back-to-back world champions. And it's ironic that the last guy to do this ended a run of 3 straight world championships 25 years ago in Randy Johnson. Also, if you're mentioned in any sentence with that guy, Randy Johnson, the big unit, you're doing something right. So, my goodness. I could talk about this game for hours if I wanted to. I'm not going to because, you guys are going to obviously talk to I'm not an expert. I like talking about this. I like giving you my opinions, but from all the stuff that I've seen across, especially in an era of pitching where, and that's the other thing that's really impressive about this is back then, in 25 years ago, starting pitching was more of an emphasis. Now we're more on bullpenning, and, shorter starts, more high leverage situations with your top relievers, not so much as pitch counts. It's not really that much of a thing. Analytics sort of lean towards, shorter outings and not as many complete games. Yet this guy threw back-to-back complete games in the postseason, in the League Championship Series and in the World Series. And then he threw another 6 innings, 1 hit, or one run, and then came back the next day and threw nearly 3 innings of shutout ball and got the win. It's one of the most heroic performances in a championship scenario that I've ever seen in my life. And you may never see it again. So please, I know it's hard if you're a fan of the Blue Jays. Just understand, once you sit back and, obviously it's going to be hard because you're drowning your sorrows over the fact that your team lost. But seriously, this was just, it was something to behold, man. Congratulations to the Dodgers. I feel bad for the Blue Jays. It sucks to be on the wrong end of that, but, unfortunately, as I said in my long review of the series, somebody's got to lose this, and this is about as heartbreaking as it gets. But when you've got to deal with a guy like that who goes and wins 3 games for his team, pitching 17 2/3 innings, giving only 2 runs in the series, good luck. You need a guy like that to overcome a lot of the shit that was going against the Dodgers, where their best players and their best hitters were not hitting the ball. So, again, congratulations to the Dodgers, and, congratulations to Yamamoto. You are a legend forever, man. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.